George?
An officer at your station is time and again being overlooked.
Are you referring to WPC Parnham?
Yes. She came through her CID training with exceptionally good reports. So why has she been back in uniform for the past 14 months?
She can't work in a team.
Who says?
A consensus of opinion. I'm sorry, if you're trying to find a sexual bias there, you'll have to do better.
I have several reports of incidents in which Sally Parnham
She can't take a joke.
She won't put up with bad attitudes.
And if you can't take a joke, you shouldn't work in teams.
Did you stick this in the box for me?
Sure.
See you tomorrow.
Hi, George.
Gemma, hello, it's Christine's mum. Is Christine there? Oh, when did she leave? Did she say she was coming straight home? Is there anywhere else she might have gone to? Oh, yes, I'll try Rosie. If she does come back to you, could you telephone me as soon as possible? All right, thank you. Bye. She left 2 hours ago.
He's late.
He's not coming.
He better.
He's got to come, innit? He won't come, he's scared.
He'll turn up. He knows what happened if he don't, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he knows what'll happen if he does, doesn't he?
She was supposed to come home 3 hours ago from Gemma's. She didn't mention anything. Yes, I've tried Chloe. No, she's not at the school. I'll try someone else. Thank you. Yes? Thank you. That's everyone.
Oh, sorry. So, how was it? Was it good?
Yeah, it was great. I suppose the best show you'll ever miss in your life.
All right. Well, don't worry, I'll pay for the tickets.
No, it's okay.
No, insist.
No, I just got here myself, actually. I missed it.
You're joking. Thought you get held up with work?
Yeah, meeting.
34 quid. Honest, that's all I could get. 60 quid, Webster. I know, I'll get the rest later, honest.
Shopping, cinema.
No, there's no question of that. There's no problem with her being allowed to do things.
Could she have forgotten to tell you she was going somewhere?
No, not on a school night.
With homework to do.
Right.
Yeah, justice, of course I believe in justice, but retribution as well, it's very important. See, I had this case a couple of years ago. There was this killer walked free, suspended sentence. I mean, the guy definitely did it. Jesus, I get angry about it still. Well, how do you think the families of the victim feel? I mean, they need retribution. Helps them sleep at night. After all, they've got to be able to believe in the system. Yeah, Jane Tennison? Where? Bill?
She's down here. Are you Emmett?
No, and I do have a name. Detective Superintendent Jane Tennison.
Yeah, DCI Tom Mitchell.
All right, what we got here then, Tom?
Well, she's been dead no more than a few hours. Violently assaulted, hands bound. Brought to the site in a Camden Borough refuse sack, probably tossed from the embankment about here.
What, not thrown from a train?
No, I'd say that was impossible, the way the bag landed.
Do you think the kids moved her?
Not that we're aware of.
Any idea who she is?
Not yet. There are quite a few boot and shoe prints along here, so we should be able to lift something. OK.
Well, when are we going to see the body?
Any time after 9.
Bill.
What is it?
Scent of perfume in her hair. Patrick. Oh, shit.
Hello.
Richard, can you meet me at Dartmouth Park Morgue at 9 o'clock this morning?
Yeah.
I reckon she was probably dumped on the embankment around 3 o'clock in the morning.
Friday morning.
Friday, yes. She'd been there 18, 19 hours.
And was she dead before she was put in the bag?
Probably died around midnight, one after shore.
How old do you think she is?
50, 55. These wounds to the torso were caused by a long, thin bladed instrument, the order of 1/8 of an inch wide, 6 inches long. Clean entry wounds. These marks here to both wrists would indicate she's been tied up for some period of time. Now, these wheals to the upper arms.
And clamps.
Well, yes, that's possible. Very good.
Strung up and clamped.
Strung up. I wouldn't like to say.
Any evidence of a killer?
No semen, no trace of anything that might prove useful. Might be something on the bag. The hands are spotless, nothing under the fingernails. Have they been scrubbed? Strung up is possible, yes.
It's only the clamping of the arms.
Yeah, I want the photos as soon as possible. Don't tell anyone about this.
No. But I mean, it is only the clamping that makes us think it's a connection.
Maybe a little hobgoblin lets him out at night.
You did put away the right man. There's no question of that.
Marlowe, where is it? Aha. Mike, I want to stay on this case.
Really? I thought you liked doing budgets.
Oh, very funny. Look, I want Haskins on it with me.
OK. You'll have Mitchell shadowing you.
Why?
We've got him in mind to join Amit as a DCI. You're all right. He's a nice lad.
Fancy him, do you?
Get out.
See if I can arrange a date. Good morning. Detective Superintendent Tennison. I'm sure you all know that I'll be working with you from now on. Tom, we got an identification yet?
Marjorie Miller.
She local?
Yeah. Kentish Town, Osborne Road.
Well, what do we know about her?
Excuse me. She was a widow, lived on her own. Worked for the Scotsmore Clothing Company, assistant managing a company shop in the West End. She used to go to the club on Tuesday evenings.
Club? What club?
Our club, our area social.
Why?
Well, her husband was duty officer here until he died 6 years ago.
What, at this station?
Yeah. She left the club about 10:30 p.m. Went outside to catch a bus home. Colin, take that for us, will you? Cheers. Same routine every week. We know she didn't make it that night.
And she left the club on her own?
Yeah, we're trying to find out if anyone saw her after she left.
What, any relationships? Any lovers?
No, definitely not the type. She was very devoted to her husband. Some of the older guys here knew her quite well. They tell you she'd never look at another man. Anything else you want to know?
No, thank you. But I want everyone in that club questioned. Doesn't matter who they are.
She's here at Marjorie Miller's house. The photos have arrived. Yeah, looking at them now.
Oh, shit. It's got to be a copycat killing. Someone wrote a book claiming Marlowe was innocent. I'm sure photos of his victims were in it. What was it called?
Yeah. I know the one you mean.
Oh, have you got it?
Yeah, it's complete rubbish. I mean, I worked on the case, so...
Can you let me have it?
Sure.
This is the same knot that Marlowe used to tie up Karen Howard and Della Mornay.
If anybody has any idea where Christine might be, please contact the police. Any information at all, however insignificant you might think it is, please call.
It's okay, she's here.
She'll be all right with George.
Hey, leave off. He's an innocent man.
Still a nonce.
The governor will tell you.
Hey. Come on, George.
Where's the governor? You had drained down his trousers.
Come on now, lads. Lay off him.
You know, everything I saw in the mortuary this morning is detailed in this bloody book. Everything.
Hey, look at these eyes, look.
What do you make of that?
Well, it's interesting.
I mean, what kind of a person would be doing that?
What, you mean copy a killing in its every detail?
Yeah.
And out of a book?
Yes.
No one. I mean, you might be influenced by what you read in a book, or you might get some ideas about what to do with your victim from a book, but you wouldn't follow it line by line like you were using a recipe.
Well, what do you think's going on, then?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, come on, give me a theory. Huh? Patrick.
What?
Well, I thought you were supposed to know about all this.
I mean, a lot more information than you're giving me.
Yeah, all right, look.
Excuse me, I was watching that.
Well, can't we talk about this?
No, we can't talk about it. I just want to sit here and relax. I don't want to talk about work. I mean, you should try listening to what I have to listen to all day. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, sorry.
They don't use guns. They insert bullets manually. Do you know what I mean? So
I mean, it can't just be a coincidence. Please, come on, let me just get this thought out, all right? I mean, supposing that whoever's doing this wants to prove this guy Whitehouse's case, he wants us to believe that Marlowe is innocent. I mean, isn't that more likely than just a coincidence?
It's possible.
Well, how possible?
Personally, I wouldn't spend a lot of time on it.
Well, what am I left with, then?
A problem.
Which photo? Della Mornay, yeah? Hands tied behind her back. She looks a bit rough, doesn't she? She looks a bit bloody rough. She's dead.
Right. What do we got?
The pathologist report.
Good. Anything on the footprints?
They've lifted 11 separate shoe and boot prints. So far, we've eliminated 5. The place is mostly used by kids drinking and doing drugs.
So we're doing all the local schools, youth clubs, community centres and hostels. Incidentally, none of those places have use of an escort van.
Right.
Escort van?
Yeah, a man was seen getting into a Ford Escort van around 2 a.m. on Friday morning and then driving off. He was parked at the dead-end road leading to the embankment.
And when did this come in?
Yesterday.
Why wasn't I informed?
Must have been an oversight.
So who's the witness?
20-year-old male. Spent the evening drinking with his friends, says he wasn't drunk enough to get his facts wrong, and there's no reason to believe he'd been mistaken in what he's told us.
And what's his description of the man?
Medium height, 5'8", 5'11", and a stocky build and Mediterranean appearance. He was wearing white trainers, dark trousers or jeans, and a dark top. Now, one of the footprints on the embankment is a Reebok, size 8, jogging shoe. It could be Greek.
Why do you say that?
Mediterranean, Mum.
He might have keys to a lockup.
Don't know about that, Mum.
I like hell you don't. Don't call me Mom. All right, who else has read the book in D.C. Dyson's hand?
We found it on the table, Mum.
Yeah. Well, all of you who found it on the table will be struck by the similarity between our murder and the murders committed by George Marlowe in a lockup owned by the proprietor of a Greek cafe. Now, I can't stop you reading that book, but I will tell you that it's trash. I put Marlowe away, so I should know. There is no place on this team for anyone who clouds this investigation by questioning Marlowe's guilt. Is that clear? Oh, and I don't want any details of this killer's methods known outside this room.
I can assure you that my officers are a bloody sight more professional than to allow a book to influence them.
Let's not go in today. Let's stay in bed. Let's go for a walk on Parliament Hill.
I wish.
No. No, I mean it. I mean it.
Okay.
God, you know I can't. This is the first time in my life I've had the feeling that I don't want to get up. Go to work. Don't want to screw up another relationship. This is the first time in my life I've ever felt like this. Tell me it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Bill.
Mutilated, bagged up and dumped. We've got another one.
Who found her?
Jogger. Or his dog.
How long do you think she's been here for?
No more than 4 or 5 hours.
Bill, it's the same perfume as the other one, only stronger.
What is it?
I'm not sure. It's quite sweet and heavy. It's definitely in her hair.
Christine Bramwell, age 16. Same mutilations, same marks on the wrist, same wheals on the upper arms, same method of disposal. Now, Christine disappeared about 18 hours after Marjorie was found on the embankment. The time of death indicates that she was held for 2 days and then killed on the 3rd. That means that we're looking for a killer who can keep his victims out of sight and out of hearing. Now, unfortunately, there were no footprints found on the site, and we're not going to get anything off the body either because both the hands have been scrubbed. He's very thorough.
Or experienced.
Now, there was a strong scent of perfume about Christine, and a similar scent was found on Marjorie. No scent of any kind was ever found on Marlowe's victims. Forensic have not yet identified the brand. Now, Christine went missing about 5 o'clock. How? I mean, she was a bright girl. She knew not to get into a stranger's car. We know the route she took home, so I want everyone on that route questioned, and that means everyone. I mean, including the neighbour's cat. Someone must have seen something. Have we got anything from the van yet?
All hire vehicles and London owners have been checked and negative.
And what about the club?
Every officer and guest present has been interviewed. Marjorie definitely left alone.
And no one saw her after she left?
No.
What about following up the Mediterranean connection?
Do you have a suggestion?
Well, in a book on Marlowe, why...
Oh, I hope this is relevant.
I think so, Ma. In the book, Whitehouse says that the nephew of the owner of the lockup, the Greek guy Andreas, had a conviction for an attack on a woman in Manchester in 1988. The first 4 Marlowe murders occurred in the north between 84 and 87.
We know all this.
Well, Andreas was in prison in 88 when the murders stopped. Then moved down to London to work in his uncle's cafe in 89. The 5th and 6th Marlowe murders occurred in his uncle's lockup in 1991.
And Andreas left the country a month after Marlowe was arrested.
He returned here 2.5 months ago.
How do you know this?
We've checked it out.
Do you want me to check out his shoe size?
No, I don't. I want to find out who murdered these 2 women. Try this. Yeah, well, it's something like that, but... Right. Now, try this one. Yeah, that's it. Yes, definitely.
That's what I smelt too. It's gardenia. Now, the first one I gave you was a mix. Gardenia just being one of its perfumes. But this is a single note gardenia.
And this is what you smelt on Marjorie's body?
Pretty certain.
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Dr. Bramwell?
She never wore perfume.
Can you tell me if you smelt this before?
No.
Please, would you just smell it and tell me?
She didn't wear perfume.
She's just a schoolgirl.
Just tell me if you recognize it.
No.
Thank you.
Marjorie only ever wore one kind of perfume. Beauty without cruelty scent, Aurelia, with no trace of gardenia in it at all.
Good, well, at least I've got something.
Can I have a word?
I'm not happy with the way this investigation is going. Neither are the rest of my team.
And I hope you're going to put them straight.
When they're being barred from working on what they believe, and I believe, is an important line of investigation, things like attitude, teamwork,
All right. Now, what are you trying to say?
Why haven't we checked Andreas out?
But you checked him out already.
Well, we haven't had him in for questioning. We haven't got a warrant to search his property.
You wasted critical hours on a murder that I have already solved. How much more time do you intend to waste? Now, you just sort your lads out and get on with the job in hand, which is finding a copycat killer. Don't say anything.
What's told you wanted me?
Get in the car.
Where to?
The lockup. cafe, Andreas. If it's going to be checked out, I'm going to do it.
Did you take a look at the White House book?
Well, I have to see what everyone's talking about. Why? Do you want it back? Is there a waiting list?
No, I just wondered if you had any idea why Marlowe's girlfriend had changed the story.
She was dying.
Why would that make her say she lied to the court and you forced a statement out of her?
Look, Marlowe's all she's got left. She just wanted to make things right for him.
This is it.
Yeah. It was like walking into hell when we first found this place. Let's go.
Aren't we going to the cafe?
No.
I thought that's why we were here.
I've already bollocked Mitchell for wasting his time on this. I'm not going to make the same mistake.
Well, I might as well go in and have a cup of coffee.
Do what you like.
As I'm here.
Yeah.
Right, all right, all right. Yeah, John, man. Yes, sir. How can I help you?
I'd like to speak to Mr. Andreas Ulenkinis.
Oh, for Jesus Christ's sake. Take him into the back. Yeah, what do you want? Same questions, different face.
When were you last questioned?
Yesterday, only yesterday. I have customers here. Don't you know what your friends are doing?
Mr. Ulenkinis, I worked on the Marlowe case 4 years ago.
Yeah, well, why are you talking to me? It's my uncle's locker. It's nothing to do with me.
You were working here at the time.
So?
Why'd you go back to Cyprus in '91?
Well, it is my home.
Why'd you come back here?
For money.
Where are you living?
In my uncle's house.
Can you remember where you were at 2 a.m. last Friday morning?
Asleep. Where else?
Where?
In bed.
At home?
No, man, in the garden.
And, 2 a.m. Monday morning?
Look, I come here at 6:30 every morning. I leave at 7:30 in the evening. When I go home, I sleep. No, of course. I don't have a white van. I don't drive. I don't even have a license.
Reeboks?
Yeah.
What size shoe do you take?
9.
Are those nice?
Hello?
Hi. Help yourself to a drink. I'll be out in a minute.
Do you want one?
Yes, please. When do you want to eat?
Sometime soon.
Do you want to pick something out? I haven't had time, I'm afraid. I got really tied up with work.
Reading Whitehouse's book?
No, I just dug that out this afternoon.
Well, when did you buy it?
I don't know, soon after it came out, I think.
What, before we met?
Yes?
Well, why didn't you tell me that you'd read it the other night?
Why would I tell you about it? It was ages ago.
We were talking about it.
Well, that's why I got it out, because we were talking about it. I didn't even know you when I bought it.
But you're reading it now, or you're researching me?
Am I researching you? What are you talking about?
Before we met, you read a book, and in it I am caricatured as a cold person obsessed by her career and turned on by murder. Now, there's a description that'll turn any man off, except a therapist. Is that why you're interested in me?
No, I'm interested in you because you're paranoid. Can we get some food ordered, please? I'd like to watch a movie.
You know, I have no doubt that we put away the right man.
I'm sure you did.
Morning, is the Chief in?
Yes, he's just called in to say he wants to see you.
Good. Morning.
What's going on? Last night, I had a senior member of your team in here complain that you are not conducting this investigation.
I hope you showed Mitchell the door.
No, I didn't.
Look, I'm investigating 2 murders, and he insists on investigating 8. How can you expect the 2 of us to work together under that premise?
I agree. It's a very unsatisfactory situation, Jane, and one which results in this sort of thing, which we can all do without.
God, one of those bastards is leaking information. I specifically asked for no details to be published.
I'm taking you off the case.
What?
I'm getting a lot of pressure.
Who from?
It's coming from the top.
You say that you're doffing your cap to the most outrageous
I don't have the argument to keep you on it. You're vulnerable to accusations of not having an open mind. I can't ignore that.
Look, you know Marlowe is guilty.
They are not my rules, Jane.
Ah. Who's taking my place?
Mitchell's doing it. He'll be acting soon.
Now, Mitchell is absolutely the wrong person. You must know that. Look, he's leading those lads down a false trail. If you don't bring me back on the case, there'll be no one left to bring them back online. I went back to the lockup yesterday.
Yes, Haskins told me.
Haskins, are you trying to humiliate me?
Come on.
You know, you should be defending me.
I want you to look at these child protection budgets and give me a report on them by Friday.
I'll sharpen my pencils.
Right, Jason, bring Andreas Ulenkinis and put him straight in the interview room. Colin, shoe prints.
We've now eliminated all but 2. Size 8 Reebok trainer and a size 10 man's shoe with a flat heel.
Are we sure it's an 8?
No doubt about it.
Ulenkinis is a 9. Check it out. And check out what's his name, the uncle, too. In fact, bring him in as well. The van. Andy?
No joy at all. Nobody in the vicinity owns or has hired a white van, or has noticed the white van in the area in the last couple of months. Maybe it was stolen.
Well, there's no other explanation why it would be there that night.
None at all.
Any connection between Ulenkinis and the van?
Not yet.
Right. Catherine, perfume.
Yeah, Pearsons sell 5,000 bottles of this gardenia stuff every year, but fortunately none of the main retailers stock it.
Good.
Although they still do have 415 outlets for their products throughout the country now. 243 of them currently stock gardenia.
Right.
This is the printout. It's mostly small chemists, beads and bangles sort of shops. We've got in contact with all of them, and they're going to keep a record of any purchases. I think we could be lucky.
Good. Well done. Richard. Christine's abduction.
She set off from her friend Gemma's house at 5. Excuse me. Walking along Greystone Road, here. She would then have turned left down Church Street, then right down Vincent Road, taking her to her home in Poplar Avenue, here. Now, we've 2 possible sightings of her walking along Greystone Road, but nothing after that. So we've been trying to identify vehicles seen in the vicinity at around the time she set off home. At 5 p.m, a 60-year-old woman was pulling out of a parking space, causing what she says was a uniformed policeman in an unmarked car to suddenly stop. She thinks there was someone in the back seat, but she can't give any description. We haven't been able to identify either the car, the silver saloon or hatchback, or the officer involved. But it would explain why Christine might get into a car with a stranger if that stranger was using his uniform to entice her in on some pretense.
Or we could be talking about a man impersonating a police officer.
Well, yeah. It's unlikely that Marjorie would have got into a car if she didn't know the driver.
Yeah, well, this is obviously a lead we're going to have to follow to its conclusion. So I want to extend the investigation to all officers entitled to use the club.
That's the whole of the Metropolitan Police.
Yeah, well, you'll be looking for the owners of silver saloons and hatchbacks and their duty rosters. That should narrow the field down.
Do we get a warrant to search Hewlin Keenis's house?
Yeah. Andy, Jason, we'll get that now.
With a serial killer undetected, a police officer removed from the investigation, and the allegation of a cock-up in a major case, you won't be surprised to hear that the Commissioner has had the Home Secretary on the phone, wanting to know what the hell is going on. So, in order to prepare ourselves in the event of an appeal, I'm asking you, David, to look at the allegations into the Marlowe conviction on an informal basis, and to report to me as soon as possible.
Yes, of course, sir.
You'll be given access to everything you require, and confidentiality will be assured. I want a full and frank report.
Yes, sir.
With respect, sir, this will be a complete waste of time. I was Tennison's super on that case, and I will tell you that we put away the right man.
I'm looking for an independent view, Mike.
If it's the Home Secretary you want off your back, then David should be finding out who is leaking information to White House. That's the problem.
Well, that matter has already been taken up by the super at Camden.
Is Superintendent Tennison to be informed of what I'll be doing?
No. At this stage, I want everything off the record.
And if I was to find evidence that points to a miscarriage of justice?
Well, then the Commissioner will undoubtedly inform the Home Office.
Yeah, of course. And if there's been no miscarriage of justice, but there has been unprofessional behaviour in Tennison,
then I will certainly want to know about it.
Cheers.
I'm afraid that I've got a confession to make.
Well, if it's bad news, I don't want to hear it.
Okay.
Well, what is it?
Well, when you went to sleep on the sofa last night...
Oh, God, I'm sorry about that.
No, I picked up your papers on Marlowe.
My file?
I know, I apologize, but just bear with me for a minute. I think I may have found something very interesting. Now, in the pathologist's report on Marlowe's last victim, Karen...
Karen Howard.
Perfume was noted to be about her body. I made a copy of the page. Unfortunately, it doesn't mention what kind of perfume it was.
Well, how's that supposed to help me?
I know now. Now, this is a copy of the inventory of everything that was found in the lockup. There.
One bottle empty, Pearson's Sense of Old England. Gardenia. Oh, my God, why wasn't I aware of that?
For the simple reason that it was found in Della Morne's handbag, and you'd have presumed it was her perfume. I then checked on the reports on the 4 women who'd been killed up north. I quote, "A sweet and heady perfume was described as being on Ellen Harding's body." Now, she was a prostitute, so that's not altogether surprising, but once you start piecing it all together.
I'm sure there was no mention of perfume in Whitehouse's book.
No, it wasn't. I checked.
So these can't be copycat killings.
Well, I always thought that was extremely unlikely.
Whoever's doing it must have inside information.
And who has access to that information other than you and me?
Well, anyone who's got access to the file, which means any officer. Of course, they could be getting the information from Marlowe himself or the White House.
That's very unlikely.
Why, do you know him personally?
No. Well, obviously, I know who he is.
Do you think Marlowe's getting someone to kill on his behalf?
Even if he is, you still haven't proved a perfume connection as yet. The more obvious conclusion is, which is why I said it might be bad news, is that you did get it wrong. And that 8 murders have been committed that have absolutely nothing to do with George Marlowe.
No, I'm not going to believe that.
I know you don't want to believe it, but
I got the right man. And now it seems I've got to prove it all over again. So, you tell me, why would Marlowe have used the same perfume on his victims time and time again?
Jane, I've just told you what I think, but you're not listening to me.
Come on, Patrick, you're the expert in all this. Tell me, what am I looking for?
I don't know, some traumatic event, something from childhood.
Such as?
I don't know, something unpleasant. I mean, it could be child abuse.
For Christ's sake, Patrick, why are you being so difficult about
this? No,
this?
I am not being difficult. I just don't want to see you wasting your time.
Well, let me worry about that, all right? So just tell me.
All right, it'll either be something that he witnessed or something that was done to him. And whatever it was, it'll be sexual in origin.
Thank you. You still think I'm wrong, don't you?
So it would appear that the police have made a major mistake.
What it appears we are uncovering, Michael, is yet another miscarriage of justice. And I heard this evening that the officer in charge of the investigation and who was also in charge of the Marlowe investigation has now been taken off the case, which is an indication that the police themselves are now coming to terms with the fact that they've put away the wrong man.
Have you actually met George Marlowe, Mr. Whitehouse?
Yes, I have, many times.
In prison, presumably?
Yes. And he's never given up hope that the truth will one day come out and that he'll be released. And he will be. Once the Home Secretary allows his appeal, the convictions will be quashed. I have no doubt about that.
Yes, I'll make sure she gets the message. Okay. Thank you. Goodbye.
Are these the budgets?
Yes.
What time's the Chief's first meeting?
10:30. Gov, DCI Mitchell's just rung. He wants the Marlowe file urgently. Apparently you've got it.
Shit. Well, it's at home. Oh, no, it's not.
They need it this morning.
Hi, this is Dr. Patrick Schofield. I'm afraid I'm not in right now, but if you'd like to leave your name and number, I'll get
can you meet me in the lounge bar at the Camden Lock Hotel this evening, Wednesday? I'll be there from 7. Thanks. Hi, Patrick, this is Mark Whitehouse here. Look, can you meet me in the lounge bar at the Camden Lock Hotel this evening, Wednesday? I'll be there from 7. Thanks.
Have you interviewed this Andreas chap?
Yeah, we've had him in. And Takis, his uncle. They're only alibis each other. Also, Andreas wears a size 9 shoe. There's no evidence yet to link either or both of them, but give us time.
Can you find anything to link either of them with Marlowe's murders?
I can't comment on that yet, but I've listened to Whitehouse's taped conversations with Marlowe's former girlfriend, Maura Henson. I wouldn't like to give an opinion on her honesty, but what I can say is that the more I open up Tennison's investigation of Marlowe, the more suspect it appears to be. I think it's time to consider, if not assume, that you're now dealing with victims numbers 7 and 8. The 4-year gap between the last 2 killings in '91 and these 2 should certainly be investigated. We should be asking ourselves why these murders have now started again. Was the killer in jail from '91 and has only just been released? Has he been assaulting but not murdering women during that period? Were there other victims, but the bodies have not been found? If your investigation continues to ignore these possibilities, you could be making a very grave error.
So you think we should open up the investigation?
Yes, I do.
Tom?
It's always been my instinct to open it up, yeah.
Jane. I'll be with you in a minute.
Right.
Have we found out who's been leaking information to Whitehouse?
I'm taking this home.
Did you manage to get the file?
It's on my desk.
OK, listen up. Chief Superintendent Kernan and I have decided to open this investigation up to include the possibility of Marjorie and Christine being victims numbers 7 and 8.
Yes.
The first 6 previously attributed to George Marlowe. This does not mean that Marlowe is necessarily innocent of those 6 murders. We have to look at everything. So I shall be putting a team on to finding out where our killer might have been between '91 and now. I want all serious, non-domestic assaults on women in the London area since '91 checked. All serious sex offenders who have done time in that period and have since been released checked.
That's a hell of a lot of work for a long shot.
It's a hell of a lot of work. And I want you to head it.
We've already got enough to do checking out the Met. Are you going to give me some more...
There'll be no extra resources, so I shall split your team in 2, OK? Let's get on with it.
First one, Gov. Work to do now.
Richard? Richard. Thanks for coming.
I've got to pick the kids up in half an hour.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Look, I need something from you. Can I trust you?
Of course you can.
Well, you told Kernan about us going to that lockup together.
Yeah. Yeah, I did remember.
So, can I trust you?
Yeah.
Well, give me a cigarette, would you? Look, I need to know what's going on with this case. Will you tell me?
Yeah. Mitchell's brought in Andreas and his uncle for questioning, but there've been no charges. And he's opened up the investigation to include Marlowe's murders.
Look, I need to know who Marlowe associated with in prison and what happened to those men since they've been released. Can you get that information for me?
Yeah. Yeah, I can do that. Anything else?
No.
I better go. You staying here?
Yeah.
Are you driving?
Yes. Have a large whiskey, please.
I'll buy that.
No, you won't.
380, please.
Mark White, Johnson.
Thank you.
You're expecting Patrick Schofield. He's not coming.
Didn't think this was a coincidence. Oh. Shall we sit down?
Sure. Why did you write a book saying Marlowe was innocent when you know that he's guilty?
I believe he is innocent.
Finding a cause célèbre is very fashionable.
I try not to be too cynical about police procedures and motives.
Some of you have been very good at exposing miscarriages of justice, but your book is the most poisonous piece of rubbish I've ever read.
Well, thank you.
Why do you want to free a murderer who's killed 6 women and on the most distorted piece of evidence?
I actually came upon a story by chance. I was doing an article on life in a hospice. One of the patients was Moira. We got talking and I became aware that here was a key witness in a major murder trial telling me the opposite of what she told the court. And she told me the statements she made to you, the police, were made under duress and that the evidence against George had been fabricated. What was I supposed to do with that information? Go away and forget it? So I did some investigating and found that where I could check her story, she was telling the truth.
Did you record your conversations with Moira?
Yes.
Do you still have the tapes?
I have my own copy, yes.
Can I hear them?
Of course not.
What is your connection with Patrick Schofield?
Just that we share a mutual interest in miscarriages of justice.
Good night. Piss off. Look. Bloody hell.
Get in. Get in.
How did you know where to find me?
How was your meeting?
What meeting?
You want to be more careful.
And how did you know that I had a meeting?
An informal investigation into Marlowe's murders has been requested. I'm telling you this in absolute confidence, you understand? Now, I know you got it right, and I want you to know you have my support, providing you are careful about what you do and who you see.
So how did you know that I had a meeting with Whitehouse?
I was talking about your meeting with Haskins. Just be careful, Jane. Well, I haven't told you this.
Hello?
Hi, it's me. How are you?
I'm at the hotel.
Okay.
I just wanted to give you a good night call.
Thanks.
So were you asleep?
Yeah, almost.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's lonely in Leeds without you.
It's okay.
The lecture went very well today.
Good.
Did you see Kernan?
Why?
Nothing. I just wondered if you told him about the perfume.
Why did you want to know that?
There's no reason. I was just interested. What's the matter? Are you okay?
I'm just tired, that's all.
I'm sorry. Listen, I'll let you go back to sleep. I'm going to be back about 6 tomorrow evening. Do you want to meet up?
I won't be here.
Why? Where are you off to?
I can't tell you.
Why?
I can't talk about it.
Why, are you going to be away all night?
I might be, I don't know.
Well, will you call me when you do know? Jane, are you there?
Why did you lie to me?
Why did I do what?
You know what I'm talking about.
Hello, aren't you at school? Have you seen my mum?
Has she
We've
ever
got
been
a
late from the
12-year-old
shops
girl
before?
Here, Kate
No.
Matthews. Where does your dad work, love?
I don't know.
Yeah, we're in
He
Blenheim
works for
Avenue.
Pluto Plastics.
Her mother
They're
left
based
the
in
house
Dunstable.
At 8:15 this
He doesn't live
morning to
here.
buy a fruit
Do you
drink
sometimes
for
see your
daughter's
dad?
lunchbox, which
Yes.
she has not
Do you want
returned.
us to try and
Can you
contact him for you?
Pluto Plastics?
Yes.
Is your dad's name Matthews as well?
Yes.
What's his first name?
James.
Yeah, James
What's in
Matthews.
the phone,
Pluto Plastics in Dunstable. Her name is Lynn Matthews, 36. Dressmaker, works from home. Separated from her husband, one daughter, Kate, aged 12. We don't know for certain that she's been abducted, but no one we have spoken to could give us any reason as to why she would have voluntarily have disappeared. If this is our man, and he follows the pattern of the other murders, then we have 3 days to find her alive.
Can I help you?
I've come to see Doris Marlowe.
They're all out for the afternoon.
Oh. When will they be back?
They've gone to a show on the front. Who are you?
My name's Jane. I'm a friend of the family.
You should have waited at reception.
Yes, yeah, I know. I'm sorry. There was no one around, so I just popped up. It's all right, I'll come back later.
Did you get anything?
I'm getting nothing from the house to house.
What? Has nobody seen anything?
We're doing the houses again this evening.
Well, why don't we put the daughter on the TV?
Talk to her chaperone. Let's get some checkpoints organised in Denbury Road and Harrow Street tomorrow morning.
We should be looking at the prisoners Marlowe's been in contact with since he's been inside.
Why?
Maybe Marlowe's orchestrating these murders from inside
This isn't a priority.
Rather than waste my time, just do as I bloody well say!
Doris Marlowe?
Yes?
Hello, Doris.
Who are you?
I'm Jane. I'm a friend of your son, George.
Oh, is it Moira?
No, Jane.
Oh, yes, Jane. How nice. Come and give me a kiss. Oh, cold cheeks. How are you? Are you looking after him?
George?
Oh, yes.
I really should be getting onto the coach.
He can't visit me anymore.
Yes, I know. Do you mind if I have a few words with her? You see, I've just come up from London and I'm only here for the day.
I tell you what, I'll finish getting the others in first. I'll be back in a minute.
I thought you were dead.
I brought you a present.
Oh, how kind. How nice. Is George coming?
No.
No, I didn't think he was.
No, he isn't able to visit.
I'm sure I know you.
Do you like this perfume?
I do know you.
It's gardenia. Shall I open it for you?
What's it doing here?
It's a present.
Now I remember.
Do you like it?
Have I had my tea?
No. Do you like it?
Yes, Frederick used to buy that for me.
Is Frederick your husband?
Terribly naughty.
Who's Frederick?
Every Friday, down on the pier. More often than not.
Is Frederick your lover?
Oh, yes. Did I have an ice cream?
No, I don't know. So, was this your special perfume?
I'm sorry, but I have to get on the coach now.
Is it all right if I take her out for tea? She said she'd like that.
Oh, I'm not sure that'll be allowed. I'd have to check it out with the manager. I mean, we don't know who you are.
Well,
so...
I know who this young lady is. I saw you there. She's George's girlfriend. A lovely girl.
You must have a lot of memories here.
Oh, what do I know about that?
With Frederick.
Not Frank.
Was it romantic with Frederick?
Well, we had our way here a few times, I suppose.
Secret liaison.
When are you taking me back?
Did Frank know?
Frank? Bonehead.
Did George know?
Well, what's that to do with you?
George is a very dear friend of mine. He wanted me to bring you out this afternoon. I don't expect this place has changed much.
Not here.
Why not here?
Not here.
Did George follow you here one night?
Never marry.
Did George follow you here one night?
Frank got him up.
His father sent him?
Take me home.
Yes. All right, all right. How old was he then?
He was always asleep when I left. Take me home.
All right, we're going.
Frank got him up. A little boy. Got him dressed and sent him here. I want to go home.
All right, we're going now.
Does he get his sweets?
Come in.
Thanks. Did you get my message?
Yes, I did. So, what's the problem?
We're making inquiries into the disappearance of Mrs. Lynn Matthews in this vicinity sometime after 8:15 this morning.
Hi!
Hi.
What are you doing here?
Well, I was hoping that you might want some company.
If I want company, I'll call you.
So, why don't you tell me what all this was about the other night?
I think you should go.
What is this, Jane?
How's your friend Mark?
Mark? Mark who?
Mark Whitehouse.
I've no idea. I've never met
Why
Whitehouse.
couldn't you just told me what you were doing?
What am I doing?
Well, you tell me.
I've just told you I've never met Whitehouse.
Oh, don't give me that. I heard the message, Patrick. Hi, Patrick. This is Mark.
Well, if you must know, I'm writing a book.
Oh, about
Right.
what? She may be a lousy detective, but she's a good shag.
You shouldn't listen
the
to other
shagging
people's
detective.
answer machine. That's not how I feel
Well,
about
how do you feel?
Well, I'm telling you, if you just shut up and listen. I was asked to write a book some time ago about why miscarriages of justice.
Okay, well, why am I in this book
serious-
then if it's about errors of judgment?
Why are you in this? You're not in this book.
Why have you got a file on me?
Research, which I am now no longer using.
Well, who is?
Who's what?
Who's using the research?
No one is using the research.
Come on, Whitehouse is.
Whitehouse has never seen that file. Let me explain something to you. We both share the same publisher, and because of that, Whitehouse has found out about this book that I'm
Patrick,
working
you
on.
think I'm
He wants to write an article around it. That's why he left the message on my machine. Now, I have never spoken to the man. I've been away. I haven't even returned his call as yet. Do you understand what I'm saying?
How am I supposed to know if you're telling the truth?
Well, sometimes you have to trust people.
Trust people? You must be joking. In my job, that's an impossibility.
I am telling you, you are never going to sort out any of your relationships until you find some way of separating your private life from your work.
Oh, you mean don't take a job too seriously? Because you know all you really want to do is get married.
Oh, don't insult my intelligence. I mean, you are never going to learn anything about yourself because you interpret everything that anybody says to you as some kind of personal attack. Well, what is it with you? What is it? I mean, there's some kind of machismo that's driving you through everything that you do. It's patently obvious that you don't enjoy it, but you seem to be completely incapable of resisting it.
Do not talk to me as if I'm one of your psychos!
One of my what?
Look, I'm very tired and I want you to go. And you know something? I've gone right off this cosy idea of having each other's keys. So, there's yours back and I'd like mine back, please.
By the way, that's the file that you've been so bothered about. I thought I'd bring it round.
Today I proved all over again that Marlowe did kill those 6 women.
Good, then you should be celebrating.
I am.
You got a visitor.
What are you doing here? Can't be business if you're off the case.
It seems like it's only you and me left who know for certain you killed 6 women.
No, thank you, filthy habit. Did you come all the way up here to tell me that?
Someone is copying your murders. I need to know who.
What am I supposed to know?
Who did you tell, George?
How am I supposed to answer that?
Look, I know the women you killed were prostitutes, or you thought they were. These women aren't. It's a 53-year-old widow, a 16-year-old schoolgirl. These aren't women you meant to kill.
Is anyone going to convince you that I'm an innocent man?
Look, I know you're being copied, and I know you're being copied by someone who has access to evidence that could only have come from yourself.
What evidence is that?
The killer souses his victims with perfume. Gardenia perfume. So did you, George. Look, you must know that a 3rd woman has gone missing. She's a loving, caring, faithful woman. Tell me who's committing these murders and stop him before she joins the list.
For God's sake, will you just accept that you've made a mistake? And give me the opportunity to go back to a court of law and prove it.
I went to see your mother yesterday.
What?
Went up to Blackpool to visit her.
You what? She's an old lady. She's a sick old lady. What did you say to her?
Well, I had to see her, George, because you won't tell me the truth.
What did you tell her?
Who's killing these women?
What are you doing, seeing my mother?
I took her for a walk on the seafront.
How dare you visit her?
I took her to the pier. You see, I know, George.
You bitch!
Who's killing these women?
You've upset her.
Tell me, George.
If you have upset her.
Ask me what I know about Frederick. What did you see when your dad sent you down to the pier, George? Was she lying down? Was he on top of her, legs in the air? Or did he have her up against the railings? Did she see you standing there? Was he laughing? Did she try and pull her knickers up? Did she shout at you to go away?
Let me out of here.
Was your dad pleased to see you when you got home, George?
Will you let me out of here?
Smiling?
3 sales reported, none in the London area, all negative.
This is Dyson.
Right. Richard, anything there?
No.
We've got the van. What size? Yeah. Yeah, okay. All right, thanks. Well, it belongs to an art student in Falmouth. Now, she'd been to a party with a boyfriend and they'd stopped for a piss on the way home. The boyfriend wears a size 8 Reebok jogging trainer.
That just leaves us with a size 10 shoe, possible lift from the police club and a possible sighting of a police officer on Greystone Road. How are we getting on with that list?
Still checking out the duty rosters.
Richard. You get your team back onto helping Colin. You can return to that work as soon as you've cleared everyone.
Is anyone checking out the list of cons that Marlowe's been in contact with since he went inside?
The police are now certain that Lynn Matthews, the mother who disappeared from near her home in Wilson yesterday morning, had been abducted. At a news conference this morning, Acting Superintendent Mitchell, leading the investigation,
Hello?
spoke of his great concern for her safety and urged members of the
Speaking.
public to report any
I've
unusual
commanded trainer
behaviour
for
of
you.
neighbours, relations, and friends.
Thank you.
A special telephone line has been set
Jane?
up and the number to call
Yes, sir.
is
How long will it take you to get to my office?
445 65.
Come in. Do sit down. Can you confirm that you visited George Marlowe in prison this morning?
I
Could you
discovered...
please answer the question?
Yes, I did.
Marlowe has made a complaint to the prison governor. The complaint being that you interrogated him on matters concerning an investigation from which you had been removed.
Well, I think under the
Is that true?
circumstances... Sir, I
Is
have
that
new
true?
evidence on
Did you interrogate Marlowe
Yes, I
on
did.
a matter concerning an investigation from which you had been removed? This is not a discussion. Please answer the questions directly as I put them to you. Did you inform Marlowe that a certain perfume had been used on the bodies of Christine Bramwell and Marjorie Miller?
Yes, sir.
Are you aware of the fact that the officer in charge of the investigation, Acting Superintendent Mitchell, had specifically asked for that information not to be divulged?
No, that was my request
Just
when I was...
answer the question!
Yes, sir.
Marlowe is now free to pass on that information to any journalist wishing to contact him.
I don't think you'll want to give
Will
that
you
information.
shut up and listen? These are serious disciplinary matters. Furthermore, Marlowe is taking his complaint to his Member of Parliament, the last thing we all wanted. And as for justifying your interference, may I remind you that you were taken off the case because your judgment has become clouded. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I have absolutely no choice but to suspend you from all duties. Please give me your warrant card.
I shall, of course, vindicate myself at the earliest opportunity.
The suspension starts as from now.
Hello?
It's Richard, Cub. I'm sorry to call you this early.
What's it about?
Can I see you?
Not really, no.
It's important.
Where are you?
Opposite. The phone booth opposite.
Oh, shit. All right, I'll put the coffee on. Oh, bloody hell. Well, you don't look any better than I do.
Yeah, well, I've been working all night.
Right, what do you want?
I've Been working on that list of cons Marlowe's been in company with since he's been inside. Number 1 topped himself 2 years ago. 2's a grass, now out of the country. 3, Andrew
No,
McLean.
that was child offences.
Yeah. All number 4's offences were homosexual, all in the 60s, and he's now 71 years old. 5 is impossible.
Raymond Harding, I remember that name.
He spent a year in the scrubs on B-Wing with Marlowe. His mother died a year ago. He lives alone in a house in Cricklewood.
Why have you told Mitchell about this?
Yeah. He told me not to investigate it.
Well, so you haven't seen this man?
No.
Well, you must.
I feel out on a limb on this. This investigation's a mess. No one's got to focus on anything. We're trying to cover too much ground. We don't have enough officers. We don't have enough time. We're into the 3rd day of this woman's disappearance.
You don't expect me to go with you, do you?
Mr. Raymond Harding.
Yes?
Detective Inspector Haskins. I'd like to ask you a few questions. Can we come in?
Yeah.
I'll get him!
I was only holding him for a pal of mine.
What?
Every one of you who worked on that list has done a fantastic job. It's something none of us like to do, but you've done it with superb professionalism. Well done. Now, we have 5 suspects. 1 is a superintendent, 2 are sergeants, and 2 are constables, one of whom is at this station. I don't need to remind you of the sensitivity that is required. These officers are, if not your friends, your colleagues, and are most probably innocent. However, I want a thorough search in every case.
about?
Look, can you get in the car?
Why? What do you want to talk about?
Please.
What the bloody hell are you doing?
Oh, I'm sorry.
You can't just stop in the middle of the bloody street.
All right, I said I'm sorry.
I've got your number, arsehole.
Oh, shut up.
You're a witness to that.
I didn't see anything.
Patrick, where does White House live?
Oh, for...
Oh, please, can you find out?
No.
Don't you share the same publisher?
Yes, we do, but they don't give out private phone numbers.
Well, if he can get your number, can't you get his?
Of course I can, but I've already told you I'm not interested in White House. Now, I'd really like to get these things inside of it.
Patrick, I need your help. Would Marlowe have used the same perfume on Moira?
You mean like he used it on his victims?
Yes. In her statement to me, she said that he once tied her up and humiliated her.
And it's possible.
Well, if Moira knew about the perfume, who could she have told?
You got a phone in there?
Yeah.
Morning.
Morning. Are you getting rid of her today?
It's the third day, isn't it? It's only me who knows. And what am I going to do?
I can't do it.
What can't you do?
I can't go on with it.
Where is she now?
Somewhere.
She's still alive?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why can't you do it?
I don't have any strength.
Yes, you do. You do. You've got to dispose of now. You got this far. You have to now.
I can't go down there.
Where?
Where she is.
What else can you do?
Don't know. I can't think about it.
You've got to think about it. Is she in the house?
Yeah.
Well, you can't just leave her there.
I walk away.
You don't have to go on with this anymore. But you gotta take care of this one. Then you can stop. What time do you clock off?
I'm going home now.
Then do it now. Go home and do it now. It's just another job that has to be done. And it's over.
Okay. I'll do it now.
Listen, are you sure you want me to come in with you?
Yes.
I'd be very careful in there if I were you. You're going to find yourself out of a job.
I'm out of a job anyway. I'm resigning. Some more?
I won't be long, love.
Yes, all right.
I've lost them back.
Gonna draw some more?
Come on through.
Thank you.
So, what can I do for you?
I'm sorry, this has nothing to do with me. Jane wanted to ask you some questions. That's all.
In your conversations with Moira, did she ever confide in you that Marlowe sprayed his victims with perfume?
Of course not. She always maintained he was innocent. I wouldn't have written the damn book otherwise.
Yeah, but you knew about the perfume, didn't you?
Which perfume?
The special perfume that Marlowe sprayed his victims with.
I know about the gardenia found on the last 2 victims. Are you trying to tell me Marlowe used it as well?
Yes, and we now know why he used it. So, did Moira tell you about the perfume?
If you think you have now found another way of rubbishing the arguments in my book...
I don't give a toss about that piece of crap.
OK, that's it. I want you both out of
it. Mark. Moira must have told somebody about the perfume. Please, please. It's important.
I think you now got me on a suspicion. So how do you expect me to take you seriously?
So if she didn't tell you, who the hell did she tell?
Why don't you listen? I would not have written the book.
This is the 3rd day that Lynn Matthews has been missing. We're running out of time here.
So who else did she confide in before she died?
See, she won't do that because she don't listen.
She never do listen.
No. Oh, I saw Darren last night at the club.
Well, he's a waste of space anyway.
Yeah, I know, but he's not a prat. 3 ciders, right? Wallop, wallop, wallop.
Where was Steve then?
Oh, he was there. Oh, yeah, what'd you say? Oh, he's had his hair cut.
No.
Oh, honestly, you've got to see it. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Last pay change, there you go.
Richard, let's get working on that list of Marlowe's prison contacts.
Gav, it's Detective Superintendent Tennison.
We've got him! Colin, Richard, Andy, let's go!
What's this for?
Outside and down the steps.
It's all right. We're police. We've got an ambulance coming.
There you go, love. All right.
Why did you start killing Len? Did Marlowe persuade you?
No.
Did he know it was you?
Yes.
Couldn't believe his luck up there. Did things start going wrong 3 years ago when your wife left you?
I don't know. I started to see things different.
What things?
Everything.
You mean like some of the men you were guarding, like Marlowe?
Maybe.
Is that why you used perfume? Did Moira tell you about the perfume?
Yeah.
What did she tell you?
She told me George used to. Spray it on their bodies.
Whose bodies?
The women he killed.
Why did Moira tell you that?
She was lonely. When she used to visit George, the journey was very long and tiring for her. She was very ill. Oh, I used to put her up. We became friends. She told me then.
And then Moira died.
Yes.
And then did you start thinking about what George did to the women?
Yes. I wanted to know what it felt like.
And what did it feel like?
Hell. I felt like I'd fallen into hell.
So you did it again?
Yes.
And again?
Yes.
And are you still in hell?
Yes.
Your removal from the investigation by Chief Superintendent Kernan was correct in the circumstances known at that time. Your behavior subsequent to that action was, however, a serious breach of procedure and discipline. And Detective Superintendent, you should have known better. The decision to suspend you was again correct procedure, as you were and are well aware. But again, your behavior subsequent to your suspension was a serious breach of procedure and discipline. Your standard of behavior is not the standard expected of a senior police officer. However, due to your actions resulting in the satisfactory rescue of Mrs. Linda Matthews, the board have considered that your punishment will be taken no further than a reprimand. Is there anything you wish to say?
No, sir.
And?
A perfectly phrased bollocking.
What about your resignation?
Oh, I forgot to mention that. What?
I knew you weren't going to resign.
Oh, did you, smart-ass?
Of course I did. Anyway, I didn't want you to.
Yes, you do. You're the one who keeps saying I've got to make a space in my life for a relationship.
Yes, but I didn't mean that kind of space, no.
Anyway, you're not so perfect either.
I didn't say anything.
I mean, you're a know-it-all, and you analyse everything.
We're a perfect pair, aren't we?
How did you know I wasn't going to resign?
Because I'm very clever. Besides, we need the money.
I sat there watching them deciding on my future, and I thought I should be sitting there making those decisions. I fought all the bloody battles. Oh, it means working with people like Traynor and Thorndyke, then I'll just have to do it, won't I?
It's good.
We've got our AMIP anniversary tonight. Will you come with me?
No, I'm busy.
terrific lady. You might just be in line for a very good apology. Have a good night.
Cheers.
What's that about? Was he talking about a promotion?
He's drunk and he's feeling guilty.
You know something, I never told you, but I got a visit from Thorndyke.
When?
Just after you'd taken off the case.
Well, why did he want to see you?
He wanted me to keep an eye on you.
Inform on me?
He said he was very concerned about your welfare and your workload, that kind of thing. What he actually wanted to know is whether or not you thought you'd made a mistake about Marlowe, and if you had, what were you going to do about it?
Oh, slimy little shit. Excuse me. Good evening, gentlemen. Having a nice time? David, you fancy a dance?
I'd be delighted.
Did you hear about the results of my tribunal?
Yes. Congratulations.
This is so reassuring to know you have the support and the confidence of one's colleagues. You know what makes you such an arsehole, David? Is that you think that you have the right to go into my private life to discredit me. Well, I've taken a lot of crap over the years, but really this time you've surpassed it all. Didn't work, did it? You see, I'm still here. I've spoiled it for you. You can't get rid of me no matter how hard you try.
Jane, no one has ever had any intention of getting rid of you.
Nothing's been treated
Nice to see such a fulsome embrace into the fold, David.
No hard feelings. Certainly not on my part, anyway.
Have a large whiskey, please.
I'll buy that.
No, you won't.
380, please.
Mark White, Johnson.
Thank you.
You're expecting Patrick Schofield. He's not coming.
We're making inquiries into the disappearance of Mrs. Lynn Matthews in this vicinity sometime after 8:15 this morning.
Hi.
Last thing we all wanted. And as for justifying your interference, may I remind you that you were taken off the case because your judgment has become clouded. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I have absolutely no choice but to suspend you from all duties. Please give me your warrant card.
I shall, of course, vindicate myself at the earliest opportunity.
The suspension starts as from now.